Welcome to Maths with Mr. S. In this video we're going to round any whole number up to 1 million, and the most important thing is you've got to know your place value. You've got to know that the first digit to the right on a number is the units. If the decimal point is here, then it's the one beside. If it's not, the first digit is the units, then the tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands and millions. And it's so important to understand where these are, and the easiest way to recognize where they are is to think of it in groups of three. The hundreds, tens of units is a group of three, and then we have 567. We put a comma in so that we can identify them where the thousands start. Thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. If anywhere, this is where people make the mistake. They forget the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and they don't put it correctly. So it's again a group of three is the thousands, and then we put another comma, and then after the second comma we would have the millions. So if we have this number and we see where the comma is, we know that then the thousands start, and then if we see another comma we know that the millions, and it is literally groups of three. Hundreds, tens of units, group of three. Hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, thousands, group of three, and then the millions after, and split it up with the commas to be able to identify. This is so important if you're going to round to any whole number. So let's look at the actual skill. So the first thing, and most important thing with rounding, is if the number before you're rounding to is a 1, 2, 3 or 4, we call it rounding off, not rounding down, because the number does not get smaller. We round it off so the number stays the same. I'll do an example, and then we've got, if the number is 5, 6, 7 or 8, we round it up. Okay, so very, very, very important that if it is 5, 6, 7 or 8, the number will get bigger, it goes up. So round off, if it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 before, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, we round up. So with this one, round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the nearest 10. So the way I'm going to think of this is I need to figure out where the tens are. So what number is this actually? Remember, groups of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's 1,234,567. So it's really easy to read when we put those commas in. Now, what we've got to do to round to the nearest 10, we've got to know where the tens are. So we've got our units here. We've got our tens. So we circle the tens and we underline the number before, because this is the one that is either going to be rounded off or rounded up. So this is a 7 before the 10, which means it is going to be rounded up. 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, it is going to round the 10 up. So the one before controls what happens to the actual number. So the 6 will round up, it will round up to the next 10, which will become a 7. And then everything after the 10 always becomes a 0. Very important. You must make sure everything after what you're rounding to becomes a 0. So 1,234,567 rounded to the nearest 10 will be 1,234,570, because the 7 has made the 6 tens round up, not off, round up. So this one, we have got, what is the number? Group of 3, 9,876,243 to the nearest 100. So we need to find the 100. If you don't know where the 100 is, then this is a real problem, but we do. We've got the units, we've got the tens, and we have got the hundreds. We circle the one that we are rounding to. Then we underline the one before, because this is going to control what happens to the hundreds. Now this is a 4. So it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, which means we're going to round off. That means that the 200 will just stay the same, and everything after the hundreds always becomes a 0. So it will be 9,876,200, because it was a 4 before. 1, 2, 3, 4, round off. 5, 6, 7, 8, round up. So circle the one that you're rounding to, underline the one before, and then see how it is going to affect the number. So let's look at a few examples of some questions. So we've got to round this number to 10, 100, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So we've got to know what the number is. So group of 3, units, tens, hundreds. and then our thousands. So 5,927,474. So it's the nearest 10. Let's do it first. Well, where's the tens? Units, tens. Circle the tens, underline the one before, because this is going to affect the number. It is a 4, which means it will round off. It will not round up or round down, it rounds off, which means that the 7 stays as a 7, but everything after becomes a 0. So we'll have 5,927,470. Okay, now we've got to round to the nearest 100. So I'll use a different color. Hundreds is the 4. Before is the 7, which means that it will make the hundreds round up. So it'll become a 5. So it will be 5,927,500. And remember, everything after becomes a 0. So the hundreds, everything after is a 0. Now we are going to round to the nearest 1,000. Well, let's circle the thousands, which is the 7,000. Underline the one before. It's a 4, which means it will round off. And everything after, so it stays as 7,000, and everything after becomes my 0. So it will be 5,927,000, and everything after is a 0. Let's look at the next one. We have got nearest 10,000. This is the 10,000s. So we underline the one before. It's a 7 again, which means it will round up. Okay, so it will become 5,930,000, and everything after becomes a 0, 30,000. And then the final one, we are going to look to round to nearest 100,000. Well, the 100,000s we have got here, underline the one before, it will round off. So it'll be 5,900,000, because everything after becomes the 0. Let's do one more example of that. So we'll start with the nearest 10. What is the number? It sets a 3, 1,627,359. Well, the nearest 10 is the 5, because it's 5 tens. Look at the number before. Always look at the number before. It's a 9, which means it will round up. 1,627,360, because it will round up. Now we're going to look at the nearest 100. Well, the hundreds is the 3. Look at the one before, which is a 5 again. It will round up, because 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 rounds up. 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds off. So I put in my 1,627,000, and this will round up to 400. Everything after becomes my 0. Then the nearest thousands. So let's look at the number before. It's a 3, so it's going to round off. So it'll be 1,627,000, and everything after becomes a 0. Let's keep going. We're now going to round to the nearest 10,000. Well, where's the 10,000s? Here's the 10,000s. Look at the one before. It's a 7, so it will round up. 1,630,000. And then finally to the nearest 100,000. Well, this is the 100,000s. This is a 2, which means it will round off. So it will be 1,600,000. And you notice everything after the 100,000s was a 0. Identify where the number is. So 100,000s, circle it, underline the one before, and then decide if it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, you round off. If it's a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, it rounds up, and everything after it becomes a 0. So now we've got to circle the numbers that would make 780,000 when rounded to the nearest 10,000. And you can see I put this group of 3 in just to be able to read the number quicker. So nearest 10,000, we've got to look and just find where 10,000 is on each of these numbers. Then look at the number before and figure out if it would round to 780,000. Let's do it. 10,000, well, group of 3, 10,000 is here. Group of 3, circle those 10,000s, because whenever you circle the 10,000s, we know we are looking at the number before it to see if it will round to 780,000. So I've identified all the 10,000s. I need to look at those numbers before to see how they will affect the 10,000 thousand. So I'm just going to underline those in my blue. Now we've got to figure out, is the 5 going to make the 8 round up or round off? Well, it's going to make it round up. So this will actually be 790,000. That isn't this, so this one wouldn't work. We've got the 8 before, it's going to make this one round up. So it'll be 780,000. Yes, this one's going to work. This is going to make it round to 790,000 because the 9 will make it round up. That's not going to work. The 3 will make it round off. So it'll be 770,000. That's no good for us. And then we've got the 6 will make it round up. So it'll be 780,000. Happy days. We've got another one. This will round it off. So it'll be 780,000 again. Happy days. That's what we need. Again, another one, 7,000. The one will round off, so 7,800. Perfect. And this one will round off because it will be 7,700. So that one wouldn't work. So our answers would be the ones that have got the ticks beside them. So again, you're just doing it in reverse. You're just seeing where the 10,000 is, what the number before is, and then how it affects it, and then if it gives you the answer above here. So let's do one more example. Circle the numbers that would make, what is that, 735,200 when rounded to the nearest 100. Well, where's the hundreds? Let's identify the hundreds quickly. It's the third one across. So when we do that, then it becomes really easy. Then we look at the digits before because they're the ones that control whether it's going to round off or round up. So then now let's look at each one. The 8 will make it round up. So it'll be 300. And it needs to be 200. So that one isn't going to work. The 7 will make it round up. So this will be 200. 735,200. Tick. This one will make it round up. So that'll become 300. So that's no good. This will round off. So it'll be 200. So we need that one. That will be a good one as well. The 3 will make it round off, so it will just be 100. So that's no good for us. This 5 will make it round up, so it'll be 200. So that is a good one. And then the 6 will make it round up, which will be 300. That's no good to us. We need it to be 200. And then the final one, the 4, will make it round off, which means it will be 100. Again, no good to us. So we've got our answers. And we simply would need to circle the ones that we have ticked. Thank you for watching, and don't forget the free worksheet and answers in the description, or go to www.mathswithmrs.com.